Hey, Segovia, back with another one on this beautiful Friday. Hope everyone out there's having a good day, y'all. We got a good TikTok mashup. I already knew it was going to happen. We got some crazy things happening with these flock cameras, a lot of stalking, a lot of false arrests coming up in today's video, y'all. Let's have some fun today for this Friday night. Hit that thumbs up, watch from start to finish. You guys know this scenario. Sit back, relax, enjoy the show.
Don't put your head in the sand. It is what it is. We're going to deploy it.
I'll
Will
sip
it
it on.
eliminate jobs? Yes. Will it change jobs? Yes. Will it add some jobs? Probably. It is what it is, and you can hope for the world you want, but you're going to get the world you got, and your competitors are going to use it. Countries are going to use it. However, I do think it may go too fast for society. And if it goes too fast for society, that's where government and business and the collaborative ways to step in together and come up with a way to retrain, people or, move it over time. We need to be prepared to have something that works this time.
This is exactly what Edward Snowden warned against. Flock allows investigators to search historical logs by partial plate, car type, or unique attributes to build timelines of the vehicle's movement tracking, which civil liberties groups note can map out sensitive visits to doctors, protests, or places of worship. This is exactly what Edward Snowden warned against in fucking 2013. And he still is forced to live outside the country because he's wanted here for warning about this stuff.
Britney Spears has said it. A boyfriend of the folk singer Judy Sill said that while she was reading Rosicrucian transcripts, she briefly shapeshifted into a reptile. And William S. Burroughs and Brian Geisen, people would say they would, become invisible or shapeshift. And a friend of mine...
Didn't you also write about somebody disappearing on stage?
Yes, that was Diamanda Gallis,
Yeah.
if that's how you pronounce her name.
I saw Diamanda once live.
That sounds pretty intense. She's maybe the most intense performer. But a friend of mine who's Iranian, he's fundamentally Iranian Gnostic, and he was like, and I asked him, "Were you on drugs?" He goes, "No." He goes, "I was very close to the stage, and I saw her disappear on stage." And I said, "Well, what's?" I said, "What? Let's go back. Let's go back to that. You saw her disappear on stage. Can we circle back to that?" And I said, "What did that look like?" And he said, "She just became more and more pixelated, and you can kind of see through her a little bit." So, for what it's worth, that is a strange but real secret history of people claiming to have seen that.
Anything you want to probe into there?
I mean,
I'm less interested in my part of it all, but I'm more interested in how you view it.
There's a couple of different ways to view these things. With all these things, you also have something people call supernatural apathy, which you can get into weird stuff or be thinking about weird stuff. But as you know, after a certain point, you're like, I've got to pick up my kids.
They decided to do is if you can't balance the budget with financial responsibility, you can balance the budget by lowering life expectancy. So if you can't fund the pension and retirement system with enough money to meet your obligations, you can meet your obligations by lowering life expectancy. And I think a conscious decision was made to do that. That literally right after the budget deal sort of busted, two decisions were made. One was to approve OxyContin and open the pill mills. The second was all sorts of policies that permitted HUD and other mortgage predatory lending. And that happened right as they also made the decision to do the private prisons, and they kept flooding the neighborhoods with drugs. And if you look at the combination of the pill mills, the predatory lending, narcotics trafficking coming in, again, this is all covered in my online book. It dramatically started to steadily reduce life expectancy, particularly in the lower income groups. And I knew it was coming. One of the reasons I kept talking with everybody about the missing money is I knew that it would hit the middle income groups.
Sweetheart, you don't need to be upset. Just vote no.
We prepare to make this decision as a council. We're thinking about you.
You don't have to raise the taxes. This is your choice.
We're thinking about your individual circumstances.
You gave Meta, a $1.5 trillion company, a 20-year tax break. Had you not done that,
remaining.
I don't think we'd be in this financial situation.
Because the town already existed and they just needed to start it up. Once more, I read in her journal when they found Denver, Colorado, and ran back and said, we got to populate this town. It's way bigger than Salt Lake City, and nobody is there. They found the big one in Alberta, Canada. She wrote that in her journal. We found the largest Capitol building, and it was in the land of Montana. The land of Montana. We found a Capitol building. There were several letters that came from Washington, D.C. to Brigham Young and said, if he was to keep this secret and state that they built it all, using the blueprints of everything that was on the East Coast as their blueprint to build all these Capitol buildings, that they promised Utah they could have statehood by the end of the century if they kept the lie going.
Guys.
Why is it that every time a story is told about Ellen DeGeneres, it gets weirder and weirder? And why do I say that? Because there was a man who now claims that when he was a child, he was a guest on Ellen DeGeneres' show. And he claims to have seen her do some unhuman, scary, like robotic stuff. So the individual in question at the time was a child prodigy chess player. And as you can see, this is an image from the show he was on. He was a guest on the Ellen DeGeneres show. And the claim is that once he got off the set and went back to his dressing room, Ellen DeGeneres' door was open. He took a look in at the door. It was open enough that he could see inside. So he turned his head and he looked. And what he saw next really blew his mind. And his claim is that Ellen DeGeneres was eating a rotisserie chicken, similar to the ones you see behind me. Now, he alleges that what he saw next, she opened her mouth wide open, dislocated her jaw to fit the entire chicken in one.
People have really good points about Building 7.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not an engineer. I'm not an architect. I don't know why Building 7 collapsed. There had to have been a reason, obviously. But in terms of who did 9/11, it was Al-Qaeda.
Yeah.
1000% it was Al-Qaeda. It wasn't the Jews. It wasn't the Saudis or the Saudi royal family. It wasn't the Bushes. It wasn't Silverstein, whatever his name was, for the insurance money. It was Al-Qaeda.
Yeah. What are the most...
Now, it might have been them, right? I don't even want to say their name. It might have been them. But who okayed it? Who funded it? I mean, they did their damn pilot training here in the country, right? So that should tell you something right there. They were out here training in, I think in Arizona, actually. They were training to get their pilot license and all that. So who okayed that?
Misconceptions that you continue to hear today. It doesn't have to just be 9/11 that actually gets you upset. Are there any theories about anything that you did or that you were involved with that personally bother you?
The 9/11 conspiracies bother me the most.
Yeah.
Because there are so many people so positive about their positions that they either speak to me like I'm stupid, or worse yet, they accuse me of being part of the conspiracy. That bugs the shit out of me.
That's a really good point. Why can't I just go buy a vehicle and drive it? No. Why do I have to pay taxes on a vehicle for 40 times? I have to, the gas, of course, we need, or whatever your vehicle uses, or electricity, in these newer vehicles, the electronic vehicles, whatever. But why do I have to, why, if a sticker says the wrong number on my car, am I not allowed to drive? Things like that. I think it's all BS. I think taxes, and I think the cost of the registration and title and all that, and everything you have to do every year to renew a little plastic or a little whatever sticker to drive your vehicle that you bought is wild.
They kind of like they said you'll own nothing and be happy, and we automatically think they want everybody to rent, but no, y'all, we'll own nothing, and we own nothing. And we're okay with it. We pay our car off. You still got to go get it registered. You still got to pay insurance. You still got to. You don't really own that. If you don't pay for that registration, you can't drive it. You pay your house off. You still got property taxes. You don't pay, so you really own nothing, right? We own the The things that are distractions. We own our phones, we own our computer, we own our laptop, we own our clothes, our fancy clothes, these designer clothes. We own these things. But the things that matter, houses, cars, things like
they manufactured.
What are you?
The Goodyear Police Department says it's found an officer potentially misusing Flock automated license plate readers. That's the third Valley Police Agency in less than a week to say someone may have violated policies using this vehicle location tool. I'm ABC 15 senior investigator Melissa Blasius, and I've been looking at the pros and cons of this technology, including whether the automated license plate readers need better guardrails. Goodyear Police issued this press release saying during a July audit on the Flock system, they identified activity that raised concerns, adding one officer is on leave pending a criminal investigation. Earlier this week, Apache Junction Police announced their officer, Josh McDaniel, resigned after he was accused of improperly using the Flock system to try to locate his wife in a different city.
Right now, it's not a crime. In my opinion, should it be? Absolutely.
And last week, Chandler Police said they're also investigating one of their own for potential misuse of the Flock system.
Any potential misuse of the Flock system is something that we must take seriously.
Of the 14 police agencies I contacted, 7 who responded by our deadline said they do have regular audits and have not detected any abuses. That includes Mesa and Casa Grande, who also say they've previously investigated citizen complaints but found no violations. It also includes Tempe, which also announced Tuesday it will no longer auto-share its Flock data with any other police agency.
I mean, and nothing happens to them, y'all. Can you imagine if like one of us hacked in there and watched our wife see where she went, right? We'd be arrested like that. But these guys get away with everything, y'all. And you know they're going to abuse it. You know these guys are going to look at their wives, their ex-wives, whatever, see what they're doing, watch every move obsessively because they know they're going to get away with it. Suspended with pay, and they'll be back out there in a week. It's ridiculous.
Guy is working with fucking aliens. I'm talking about the motherfuckers past the ice wall.
Is it true Kai is an sort of soul?
Yeah, I don't feel comfortable. Just give me a second.
He had members of a group that claimed to be from the planet Arcturus. They all happen to be blonde-haired and blue-eyed, come from very wealthy families, and gone to Ivy League universities. Strange aliens among us. This is what they had to tell us on the January 20th, 1988 program of People Are Talking. On Arcturus, but you don't have one in Secaucus.
To whom? To whom do the changing thoughts that you're presenting to this audience appear, Richard? This is phenomenalism.
Are manners known on Arcturus?
Americans, you are being...
Frederick?
You're going into the most crucial period of Earth history, starting in May of next year. The terrible earthquakes, the storms that will beset humanity, the financial disasters. We must warn you. We're here to warn you of these things. We are sincere.
Okay, so you're saying next year...
Not phenomenalism and five and dime store stupidities, Richard. I talked to you behind the scenes about this.
See the type of talks they used to have on national TV back in the day? They had aliens on the talk show, daytime TV. Now we got The View, The Talk. That's our daytime TV. Back in the day, y'all, we had Jerry Springer, people beating the hell out of each other on there. You stayed home from school, you had a blast watching TV.
This theory for a long time after working in psych for over 7 years. That theory is that these patients with hallucinations about the FBI being after them, about cameras being everywhere, microphones being everywhere. Look at the technology around us these days. They're kind of right. Patients with grandiose hallucinations that robots are going to take over the world. I can't tell you how many patients I talked to about the whole artificial intelligence thing and how that's going to take over the world. Like, actually, if I put the conversations that they were having with me at that time to where we have fastly moved till today, it would make for a very good podcast episode. But if you take us back to that time and listen, it would make for a very good psychiatric evaluation. To me, I feel like the world changes so much, so fast, that I can't possibly think about the things that we don't know or that our government doesn't share with us. Like, apparently the CIA has had technological advancements since the 60s where they could point a microphone as small as a ballpoint pen across the street to a building and hear a full-fledged conversation with crisp clarity. Now, I'll never forget one run-in I had with a lady who said that she felt the FBI was after her. There are cameras in her house. She felt like she was being watched. She was an older lady.
Crazy, huh?
She had stopped bathing herself. She wasn't sleeping well. So it's only, logical to believe she's having a psychological break. However, and some of you might have heard this story before if you've been following me, shout out to all my newbies though. It was crazy when she actually came onto the unit. There were men that showed up in suits who identified as the FBI about a day or two after she had come to the unit. And our supervisor came to us and said, hey, we need you to pull this patient's charts immediately. We need to hand it over to these authorities. We're not allowed to ask any questions. And they grabbed this lady up and they escorted her out of the unit. And she just looked defeated. And she was looking back at the staff like, I told y'all fools. She was senile and whatnot. But, if I'm imagining that everything she's saying was right and she was losing sleep for the right reasons of being followed and came in to be evaluated and to be housed so she doesn't have to worry about being followed, and she actually got taken out by the FBI, like out of our unit. Like, this is a society we live in, man. What will the patients of the future look like? Because so far, they kind of right in some regard.
I've been watching these police cams, y'all, and watching people like teachers with students or adults with pictures they shouldn't have on their phones or whatever, and I'm paying attention. They're like, Snapchat notified us. Snapchat has certain keywords that if they pop up, they get an alert, and they see your conversation. I'm thinking like, damn, y'all, like, not saying that's bad, but I know I've done it in my past, chit chat with females on Snapchat, doing what we do, right? Send pictures, whatever, right? Back in the day on the single days. And it's like, they can probably, like, somebody that's, I'm working overnight tonight, I'm going to put in keywords that I want to have pop up. And they're just watching our whole conversation, y'all, right? We're not doing nothing wrong. But if they're doing that for that, you got to imagine they're doing that for any conversation, right? You have keywords or whatever. And there's times when your phone, if you pay attention, when you're on your phone or when you're talking, like where the battery's at, like a little green thing will pop up, like a green microphone or just a green circle, right? We've all seen it on our phones. Like, that's probably somebody listening or seeing what you're typing. Because when I was watching, I was like, damn, they just listen to everything, which they should for those certain keywords, right? Talking to young ones and all that. But I'm sure you can put in filters like on, it's Saturday night. This guy's working overnight at Snapchat. I'm going to put these in. I want to have some fun tonight and just watch somebody's whole conversation, y'all. That's crazy.
Those were the Vikings, right? Well, who did Hitler say? What did Hitler say was the perfect human? Tall, white, blonde hair, blue eyes. Germans don't even look like that.
Not at all.
What did David Grush say at the last congressional hearing, UFO whistleblower? He said the tall white Nordics are a few centuries ahead of us.
The tall white Nordics.
That's what he said.
Excuse me.
The black human's DNA goes back 2 million years. When I was in Africa, I was in Nigeria, the Igbo, they have literature from the time of Adam.
The Igbo.
The Igbo tribe. They said they were here during the time of Adam.
Leave it.
It's not suspicious that in the Caucasus Mountain areas, there are no gold mines, no diamond mines. What do they prioritize? Furs, leathers, boats, and ships. White dudes buy big yachts. We wear diamonds. Our people been wearing diamonds and gold chains for 8,000 years.
That's right.
What do? They show up here. It seems like wherever they came from was low resources. When I was living in Africa for this time, when we were communicating, the sense of urgency for those people was not there.
A whole lot of people are about to get exposed. Anthropic has just announced that new Claude models will now embed an invisible watermark into every piece of text it generates. Meaning it's about to be a lot easier to see whether something is AI generated or not. RIP students. And the thing is, it might not be that simple to get around because Claude's own website says, because the watermark is part of the text, it will be traveling with the text when it's copied and pasted elsewhere. And even if you decide to change some words, well, they say the metadata label may persist even through some editing. But the timing of this is actually bigger than it seems, because Anthropic said that the decision is to support transparency and comply with legal obligations, which is referring to the EU's new AI transparency laws. And they came into effect on August the 2nd. So the question is, will ChatGPT be next? And will people still find a way around it?
Man, construction workers started running for their lives after something was discovered deep in the grounds of China. This video has a lot of people asking, what the hell did they find? A massive excavation was underway when out of nowhere, dozens of workers can be seen abandoning the site at the same time. According to the story circulating online, these workers discovered some kind of creature that was buried deep in the ground. And whatever happened, something had these workers moving as if they wanted no part to do with this shit at all. And with how deep they were digging, it makes you wonder what could have been hiding underneath there this whole entire time. With everything going on in the world today, only God knows what they found. And this video is for entertainment purposes only. What do you think happened down there? Because whatever it was, it had them boating.
Morale's low because we haven't hit a port in about 7 months. I mean, I haven't stepped off the ship in the year 2026. I haven't been off the ship. I haven't touched land.
Is anybody else curious about what happened in Las Vegas, April 2023, when that whole family recorded what they described as these 10-foot tall beings in their backyard? And not only that, all of these residents of Las Vegas reported seeing this large fireball in the sky. Something crashed there. Something happened that night. And what is it that these people were seeing? Now, what's interesting is they describe these things as being 9 to 10 foot tall. These skinny, sort of inhuman-like beings. And what's interesting is that sounds very similar to what was seen down in Miami, to what has been seen all around the country in the woods, in the forest, that people describe these tall, skinny, pale figures that are around 9 to 10 feet tall. So is it possible that this is connected to all of these other events that are happening, not only in this country, but across the world?
Test.
So what do you think happened in Las Vegas? What do you think is going on with these tall, skinny, pale creatures?
Yo, I just gotta record this real quick. I'm in Walmart in self-checkout, and I did the math on all my shit before I even came to the machine, and I'm like, why the fuck is it $10 more than I expected? Look at this shit. They wanted to ring something up, $14.97, and the cashier lady and I, we looked it all up. All of my items are in that bag. What the fuck? They scamming out here. Yo, they literally scamming out here. They tried to get me for $15 for something that didn't even exist.
They're allowed to steal from us, but we're not allowed to steal from them. You know how many people just let that slide, don't even catch it, right? Don't even catch it. They're over there dealing with something in their purse or whatever, and this lady's just scanning. She doesn't even catch it. The damn registered lady should have caught that. They get away scot-free, y'all. And if you come back the next day with police, you can't even come back the next day with police. Hey, Walmart stole from me. They stole $14. They won't do nothing. You have to go stand in line in customer service, and they'll give you a gift card or your money back. But let me walk out of there with 2 body washes for $7 each, $14. Let me walk out of there with that. Let me get $14 out of the cash register and walk out with that. Robbery.
Watch Walmart, yo.
Whoa, bro. This is a crazy scene. Look, just look.
Grand
Look
Theft
at what
Auto,
I'm
y'all.
looking at.
Fires.
What the? Yeah, looks like it's right up here.
Drugs.
Dude, whatever this is, it's still burning bad.
We got to go through Skid Row to get there. I guess this is how we're starting the video. Welcome, folks. Welcome to the channel. Another day in LA. Oh boy. Oh man, dude. Something's like blown up, dude. It looks like a bomb went off. What on earth is burning over here? This shit looks crazy. Oh, this is gonna be so bad for my breath. All right, let's see. I'm assuming they already got this place sealed up. Let's see how close we can get to this. My calculations from my eyeball map is correct. Maybe a little bit further. It's like a building over by the bridge, by the 6th Street Bridge, looks like it's burning or something. Dude, it looks like a went off. Looks like a freaking attack. Guys, cloudy over here. That's how bad it's burning. Got something scraping my chin and it's driving me nuts. Oh yeah, from here you can see the fire is currently raging out of control. Big thick plumes of black smoke. We know what that means. If you don't know what that means the fire is not contained whatsoever. When smoke starts to become more like white, that means it's getting under control.
So now you're telling me that we're just not going to talk about the fact that China has confirmed that they've created a power source that is everlasting and that can charge drones, therefore allowing them to stay airborne indefinitely? I'm sorry, what in the Tony Stark arc reactor are we talking about? Because that's straight out of the plot of Iron Man. But yeah, scientists out of China have developed a drone that can stay airborne forever, indefinitely. Also, the energy that they're using is this laser type energy that can shoot the drones in the air, charging them, allowing them to stay airborne forever. Okay, well, so we got drones that can fly forever. The US military is going to start using AI robots to fight their missions. And we're getting ready to have a 60-minute special on the drones that have been showing up in America for the past few months. All right, well, all I have to say, it's quite a time to be alive. But what do you think about this? We have drones that can fly forever. We have military droids that are going to start fighting wars. I feel like we're living in a Terminator 2 plot line and timeline. So what do you think? Drop it in the comments because I feel like not enough people are talking about this. We have everlasting energy now, drones that'll fly forever. And remember, conversation and entertainment purposes.
Whatever happened, remember that Chinese balloon that flew over like big time nuclear sites where they got them, flew over them? Remember that? And it came over 2 miles an hour, didn't catch it, went over our big military bases, just flew back out. Like, what happened with that? Nothing came from that.
Did you guys hear what Walmart is doing right now? And I gotta hand it to them, like, this is genius. I don't agree with it. I don't think it's cool, but it is completely genius. And it may make you want to return a TV or figure out a new TV, put it that way. So it turns out, in 2024, Walmart acquired Vizio, okay, this TV brand. You may have a Vizio. And some small changes happened since they acquired Vizio. The old boxes on the Vizio TVs would say a free Vizio account required to be able to use smart functionality, all the smart features of the smart TV. The new Vizio boxes say customer account required. It doesn't specify what kind of customer account. It's a Walmart customer account, which means to use the smart TV functionality in the new Vizio TVs, you gotta have a Walmart account. And we know smart TVs track what you watch, when you watch it, and your device info through a feature called automatic content recognition. And it just so happens that many times Vizio TVs are the cheapest ones in the store. So I'm not any crazy lunatic thinking here, but it seems like they want everyone to have a Vizio TV, which you need a Walmart account to get. And then when you get the Walmart account and you get the TV and it's smart and it reads all your data and personal and all the information, whatever you give it, then it can market to you to get you back into Walmart to buy more stuff. Now, I have a smart TV behind me. That's what you see is covered with a map. Because in feng shui, you're not really supposed to have many black mirrors. Think of the show Black Mirror. What are the odds all of our devices, our screens, our phones, they're black mirrors when you're not using them? It's a little bit shocking. But anyway, so I got my screen covered. This is what they do in Japan too. They do like to cover their screens, and especially they do not like to have TV screens in the bedroom. There's something about the bedroom. You don't want a TV in the bedroom. There's a whole thing about it. Study feng shui. I'm not joking. You'll find out. But anyways, this is shocking. I got my smart TV unplugged, by the way. I just have it I have it HDMI connected to my computer. And I watch videos through my computer and put on that screen every once in a while. Not often. I don't use the smart functionality at all because I know that then the mic's on and everything's on. It's all tracking and
Lying, fool.
spyware. It's freaking shocking, man. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below and follow for more.
Your license plate is registered as stolen license plates in our system.
Are you serious?
Dozens of drivers nationwide say they're being unfairly pulled over, some even at gunpoint.
Keep your hands above your head.
Due to alleged misuse of Flock Safety's license plate readers. And it's not just mistakes causing concern. This week, 3 Georgia police officers were added to a growing list of cops accused of misusing the camera technology to allegedly stalk citizens.
Magically, just like we saw in Arizona in the beginning of the video, it was 3 just this week. Same thing, right? Same thing. You guys catch that earlier in the video, and they said the same thing. Just this week, 3 officers, and then right here, just this week, 3 officers,
including ex-wives and girlfriends.
I don't think that Flock created police abuse.
I mean, can you put yourself in those women's shoes?
No, it's horrible, and I apologize.
Did you take enough responsibility soon enough?
I think hindsight is a brutal tool. Of course, we could have done more earlier, and we listen and we learn, and we'll continue to move forward.
In response, CEO Garrett Langley says he is rolling out new safety measures, including cutting data storage time from 30 days to 7. And in January, Flock will require all of its roughly 6,000 law enforcement agency clients to opt in to what's called audit assistance, which flags any potential police misuse.
Why didn't you make a requirement as soon as you created the technology?
We've evolved there. We've always said we want local control. I think it's up to our elected officials to decide how long is this data retained.
But who is actually looking at this data and why? We put it to the test.
We entered the license plate of this CBS News vehicle into the website, Have I Been Flocked? It turns out we had. This plate was searched 4 times in a 2-week window by the Jackson County Sheriff's Department. We asked why. They didn't respond. We have no idea why. That car has been used for reporting trips for a small team of reporters. It's unsettling.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see their response.
Since January, 50 cities have canceled contracts or stopped using Flock's cameras over privacy concerns.
Did you underestimate the level of abuse that you might learn about 9 years down the road when you founded this company?
I think I'm like many people that grew up in a safe neighborhood and assumed that our law enforcement friends were perfect.
Some people might say that sounds pretty naive.
Maybe I'm an optimist. It's why I started this company, is because I also believe that we can build a safer country. And that's probably naive as well.
Obviously, these cameras have been helpful in finding things like murder suspects, stopping kidnappings, but there are some abuses. So the money question, is this worth the risk?
That is the central question. Critics say he's helped create a surveillance state. He says he's making America safer. But the studies he's leaning on were, number one, paid for by Flock. It's also a small sampling of the 6,000 police departments self-reporting their wins from these Flock cameras. So how can we trust that data?
It was a fun. We've all had those jobs, right? Hey, when you meet up in the morning, hey, boss is coming in today at this time. Make sure you guys stay on your best behavior. He's going to be in here. Don't make me look bad. All right, get to work, right? We've all been there. What do you think they do? Hey, this month, y'all, we got chosen, our department, especially cops. We see in the movies. I've never been a police officer, but we see in the movies they have their morning meetings where they're all sitting at the table, whatever, right? I'm sure in that morning, hey, this month we got chosen. They're watching our flocks in our district. Make sure you guys do good. Don't be chasing your wives, Segovia, right? Hey, Beltron, over there. Don't be looking at your ex-wife. We know what. Hey, I see you. I see you doing it all the time. Don't be doing it this month. Wait till next month, all right? Right? They know what they're doing, y'all. And this guy is just it's so frustrating that they just get away with these things. This guy just, a random guy that grew up with money and had the funds to create cameras to put on every corner. And he says, we're going to do this for the betterment of America. And that's not his intentions at all, y'all. He wants greed. He wants power. He wants control. He comes off as a nice guy, grew up in a good neighborhood, just figured cops are all perfect, right? No. It's so frustrating, y'all. It makes me so angry. And they're everywhere, y'all. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. It's ridiculous.
Nobody dreams about cell phones. Nobody, ever. All right, so you're in the dream. The distance from you to this fireplace, 14 feet. But in the dream, this distance is made out of what? What is the material that makes up this distance between you and the fireplace? In real life, if you're looking in reality, there is no distance, right? So the fireplace is not real, but what about the you that's looking at the fireplace in the dream? Also not real.
Right.
But what is this fireplace made out of? If you're dreaming, is made out of you. Everything is recursive back to some point of consciousness. Does this make sense so far?
Yeah.
So there is no such thing as distance in a dream because everything that I'm looking at in the dream is made out of Chase. This is all me. So the all is mind in the dream. Does this make sense so far? And if anyone's ever into lucid dreaming or trying to get into lucid dreaming, that's like you can explore consciousness that way. Big time.
Keep going. So by the way, I'll tell you the color of these lines and why they matter. That was the first one. Maybe who they named him after, but I don't think he's the lineage guy. Scroll back out real quick. Scroll down.
It's going to be one of the new ones.
Keep going.
Keep going down.
No, keep going down.
Go down to the bottom, basically. Okay, there's David, right?
There he is, Nathaniel, the guy in the glasses.
Nathaniel's in the glasses.
The guy in the glasses.
Yep.
So
his father was that guy.
His dad was the creepy guy who sounded like atrocious.
Yes.
Who sounded like an evil villain.
Yes. At the end of this presidency, there's going to be a lot of people where the justice is going to be coming for them. Unless a Republican gets into office. If J.D. Vance or Marco Rubio wins in 2028, they're going to be okay.
There's no way.
If someone else, if the guy from Pennsylvania or whoever the fuck it is, or whatever it is.
Are they talking about Shapiro?
Maybe. You know, he's one of the ones that they throw
Ben
around.
Shapiro?
No, Josh Shapiro.
Josh Shapiro.
There's a few people that they say could be the president. The other guy's the California
This is why they
douchebag.
never try any of them for war crimes, because they're like, I guess you guys will come back at me.
Exactly.
Because they
So
all
this
do
is-
it.
this
Everyone
is
in the
the
government's
thing.
doing that shit.
This government has done some shit that no government has ever done before. And one of them is the crypto stuff. The crypto stuff's nuts.
What?
It's like
Billions.
Trump has made billions
With the B.
in crypto.
Yeah, it's
Like,
a bad
he's-
look. With the B.
And then you got his sons, and his sons are involved in all these weird business deals where the business deals have to do with some things that Trump put, and then the sons are involved in these businesses. And like, there's a lot of money flowing around that you could dig in and start arresting people. So
It's
if
crazy
he
they're
pardons a
doing
bunch of people and gives them the same kind of deal that he gave Fauci. Lakers sell Josh Kushner for, but that's his brother. That's
Dolly-
Jared Kushner's
Still.
brother. He's not.
Still.
But that's just a guy who has money.
Dolly Parton.
Guy was at the White House like 2 weeks ago. He was at the White House?
Gave Trump
Yeah, so was I. So was Shane.
You guys remember?
Billions, y'all. This guy made billions with the B. Did we get anything? Did we get some of those profits? No. Matter of fact, raise it up. Let's go to war. Raise it up. Raise it up. Right? But he's just gonna pardon everybody. That's what I'm saying. These powers that be, these AI guys, all these people, these people in their rich club, they just get pardoned, y'all. Don't even get a slap on the wrist. Don't even get a fine. Nothing.
Remember the company Clonade and how they had
Us
talked
versus
about
them.
successfully, allegedly creating the first human clone named Eve. And back in 2003, they said that they had officially achieved cloning 5 embryos, and that it takes 20 years for the embryo to actually look like the host, like the person that the DNA was created from in that embryo. They were very vocal about this at the time, and they are still a company, but they've really shied away. And once they started talking about being successful on this, people were questioning, well, where are these babies? Who are they? Who are the parents that carried this DNA? And they did not want to talk about that openly. You can go look all of this up. This is all alleged, of course. Now, something that struck me as odd is that they said it takes 20 years, which this was spoken in 2003. Where are we at now? What did we start seeing around 2021 to 23? And they also stated that these clones would have severe health issues. Now, I know I'm not the only one that has noticed strange things going on, but
Kylie Jenner's partnership with Dunkin' Donuts is eerie to say the least. For those in the know, I want you to take a good look at this picture behind me, and you'll see it right away. I mean, those who have eyes will see. Take a good look at that. Does nobody else find it eerie that a member of the Kardashian family, let alone the first billionaire within that family, is doing this in an ad with a popular donut and beverage company? I mean, come on, guys. Totally unrelated, for entertainment purposes only, but I happen to find this photo of Kylie and her sister from 2015. It looks like on a Polaroid type camera, Take a good look at that and tell me what you notice as well. As if it wasn't eerie and creepy enough, I found this photo on the internet as well, and many people, hypothetically, are saying this is putting it right in front of our faces. So I'm sure an ad like this is just for artistic purposes only. It's only for entertainment, you know? They're just doing it because it's provocative and it gets people talking, right? There's no deeper hidden meaning behind all of these photos, right? Comment below with your thoughts. Am I onto something or am I tripping this time? Wake up.
A person close to Schneider said that the goo was green. So it couldn't be, the other thing, because it was green.
Alexa's revelation completely shattered countless people's childhood memories. The bright green slime we used to see as a fun prank as kids turned out to be almost exactly the same shade as the green used on green screens on set. According to a cast member, Dan deliberately demanded repeated reshoots of the slime shooting scenes, with the camera locked on close-ups of the slime trickling down lips and cheeks, all while the set was filled with the crew's malicious teasing. And this is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to all the eerie details. The most baffling aspect of the entire series is the ubiquitous close-ups of feet. These shows are crammed with a large number of vulgar scenes involving sniffing and playing with feet. Even more outrageous is that the official Sam and Cat Twitter account openly launched an interactive campaign, calling on fans to write messages on the soles of their feet, take photos of them, and submit them, thus amplifying this bizarre fixation. Looking back at all of Dan's shows, a bizarre, consistent formula has never changed. Frequent scenes depicting underage girls being splashed with liquids, smeared with cake, or trapped in embarrassing situations, forcibly packaging their humiliation and embarrassment as comedic punchlines. As children, we only saw the fun and the silliness. It wasn't until we grew up and looked back with a fresh perspective that we suddenly realized perhaps these scenes were never intended for children in the first place.
I mean, children, yeah, us at 5, whatever, 10, we were watching this, had no idea. Now kids today at 5 and 10 know what that looks like. But when we were young in the 90s, I'll speak for myself, I didn't know what was going on. What about the parents? What about the parents of those kids in those shows? They should know what's going on. They're old. They know games. And they still let them do that? Still let them put it out? No fight. I'm taking my kid off this show. I don't care if he's gonna be pissed at me. When he gets older, he'll understand. She'll understand. Things they're doing there is wrong. Who's Amanda Bynes? Girl's crazy now. Parents let her go and do whatever. What about them? Why ain't they being questioned about it?
This video from the International Space Station over the Nile River has many people perplexed. And it's not because the solar panel here on the satellite is curved. If you took a ruler to it, it is curved. That's apparently because it is a fisheye lens. So we're looking a little bit more curvy. But the weird part, which many people are noticing, if you go over to Google Earth and zoom in on the Nile River, and you zoom in close enough that you can make it go into 3D, so you're not coming from directly above, but you can go on an angle, it's seemingly quite difficult to match the orientation that this satellite, allegedly pretty high up and spinning pretty quickly, was able to obtain. You see how big this thing is, this spinning ball we're on, but it looked like they were pretty either low or the camera was super zoomed in. Now, of course, many people will say it's just the perspective, man, like they're far up there, there's a bit of an extra curve going on. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm really buying this. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think this is genuinely legit from a satellite flying around hurtling in space action? Because there's space, right? Surely you believe. And there's a rover on Mars too. Like, we can agree on that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And
Billions with that. You know how many people died in 3 Mile Island? No. None. Chernobyl? I mean, not to poo-poo it. I don't know, 17, 27, something like that. Many in the explosion. Some from thyroid disease years later. The area surrounding Chernobyl is called the exclusion zone. People are still forbidden from going there, except for the people who never left, who are now in their 90s.
Are you serious?
And thriving. Google the exclusion zone Chernobyl, and you will find it to be one of the most biodiverse places on the planet. All we had to do is get all the people out, and everything grew back. There's more wildlife and natural fauna growing around Chernobyl than you can believe. And I'm old enough to remember a week after that accident, there was a black cloud in the animated graphics on ABC. Like a third of Europe was blacked out. They were talking about how a third of Europe was going to be uninhabitable for 1,000 years.
Disney forced all of its employees to get vaccinated, fully vaccinated by September 30th, 2021, or you'd be fired. I was backed into a corner. I decided to get it. I was so mad that I had to do that to keep my job. And I left and I drove home to get on a podcast that I committed to previously. I had a Band-Aid on my shoulder. I got it because I love my job and I need my job. But I think it's sick and scary for any company to force an employee to get a vaccine.
And that was political, y'all. That's the sad thing. Because if it wasn't political, that would still be mandatory today. Now, I don't work for ESPN or Disney, but I'm pretty damn sure that is not mandatory anymore. It was just those 2 years when it was in the politics.
Have the worst El Nino effect since 1877 this fall. That nobody has seen a winter like this living today. It's been 149 years since we've had a winter like this one coming up. And they're talking about the South, Tennessee, Kentucky, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, the Carolinas. Hey, the weather always repeats itself. And if you trend it from the past years, like last year, we had the worst freeze in the South we've had. I mean, it was a natural disaster. It was the worst freeze we've had in over 30 years. But they're saying by October, before Halloween, we could see temperatures down in the low 20s by Halloween. Now look, y'all can say what you want to. Y'all can say anything about me, but the facts are there. Y'all can look it up. All the weather, and I get it. Weathermen, they can't even tell if it's going to rain or what it's going to do tomorrow. But they can tell long-term forecast, what it's looking like. Look it up. El Nino effect 2026. This duck season this winter, it might get a little western. So just be prepared.
In the 1950s, millions of American housewives were prescribed a drug nicknamed Mother's Little Helper. Being a perfect housewife in post-war America came with relentless pressure. The house had to be spotless. Meals had to be interesting and healthy every single day. The woman herself was expected to stay attractive, calm, and always smiling. If the children had problems, the mother was usually blamed. Magazines, advice books, and even husbands reinforced the message. Any unhappiness was her personal failure.
Propaganda.
At the same time, the pharmaceutical industry began marketing new tranquilizers directly at these women. First came Milltown in 1955, then Valium a few years later. Advertisements claimed the pills could fix headaches, loneliness, marital tension, and the general strain of running a household. Many male doctors readily prescribed them, often arguing that women had more delicate nervous systems and simply needed chemical help to cope. Millions of women took the pills because they believed something was wrong with them. In reality, a large part of the struggle came from the impossible standards they were expected to meet every day.
Your Land and Mine, the Democracy Series. Copyright 1940. This chapter, Good Workers Help Our Country. I'd like to share something with you. I do believe this is how they explained the orphan trains to people in the 40s, and this is in a school book, keep in mind. The story in the newspaper says that some of the parents in some of the countries across the ocean are now almost ready to give up their children. They are getting ready to send them far away. They want to do this because they love their children. They are willing to do this so that their girls and boys will have a chance for better living. Life in their country is often not as comfortable as life in our country. Many times America has been good to people from other lands. Father went on. A little more than 300 years ago, not very many white people lived in America, but the people who lived across the sea had heard about this land. And here they are putting their children onto the trains.
I grew up in crazy, y'all. Like they're still doing this to this day, but this is why I say they're freaking smart. They know what they're doing, y'all. They know what they're doing. It's going to be 2020 what? When is the election? 2028. 2026 at the end of this year, they're going to go do these midterm. People are going to be lined up around the corner to vote, y'all. Even though all this thing, Trump's scamming people, they made you get the shot. If not, you're going to get fired. There's still back in that time. We need to make America. We got to for the country. Give us your young ones. We're going to take care of them. Don't worry. Propaganda, y'all. What happened to those young ones? You know what I'm thinking now, what we know now, doing that, they're doing it still. It's just different. It's modern, right? But people are still falling for this narrative, y'all. Still falling for the BS. Balenciaga putting out ripped up clothes for $10,000 and they sell out like that. Like people are just so asleep, y'all. You know, I am too with certain things, y'all. I know how bad this food is for me and I still eat it, right? Pick your poison. That's why I say all the time, pick your poison.
Mortuary for 12 years of my life. And
How was that?
I mean, to me, it was normal, but yeah, looking back, it was probably pretty weird, you know? Like, I'd have friends over and we used to like throw tennis balls like they were bombs in the chapel, like in between the pews, you know, and play games like that. And
Did you ever go
scare
in
each
where the
other
bodies were?
all the time. He didn't like me coming into the embalming room because, you know, obviously a 9-year-old or whatever, like seeing dead people.
You would see him doing work?
Yeah, embalming. You know, next.
Did that freak you out?
What is embalming?
No.
What do they do?
They take embalming fluid, formaldehyde, and they take all the blood out of your.
How do you get the
body.
blood out?
Through the neck, right here, one tube in, one tube out, and then it replaces with
Isn't it?
formaldehyde.
So they're
And
sucking
then
blood out and
Yeah,
pumping formaldehyde in.
my bedroom was above the embalming room.
Oh my
That's
God.
crazy.
And I've been wondering lately, like, why my brain doesn't work very much anymore. And I'm just wondering, like, because back in the
Did you
80s,
smell your bedroom?
no, but I don't think there were as many regulations back then.
Right. Do you think fumes?
I think fumes were going up. I mean, the ones that would really be bad is if, like, my dad was very cautious. He didn't want me to see, you know, the corpses ever. But if I did, it was the kids that were dead. That it's very sad. That were my age that would die and come in, and he made sure I didn't see.
Yeah, you
anything.
don't need
He's
to
like,
see
stay
that.
out, stay out. But the first prank I ever did, I was like 9 years old, and a family that just lost their loved one was looking at caskets in the casket room, and I lay down in one of the caskets and shut it. And when he opened it, I jumped out and scared everyone. I'm probably going to go to hell for that.
You know what?
But and then my dad just like he silently, like very quietly goes, "Get upstairs." And the family was crying. They weren't laughing.
They were.
They
Oh
weren't
my
laughing.
God.
And I ran
Oh,
upstairs
dude.
and I sat up there for like a half hour, 45 minutes before he came back up. And the whole time I was just like, "Oh, dude, what have I done?"
Those are right marks, though. Those.
What did?
parents with
Yeah,
the-
they were.
Oh, my dad was a professional fisherman, a fly fisherman. So he was called the fishing mortician. Like he was literally in newspapers and stuff. He had 5 world
In
records,
newspapers.
whatever. And
World record
The
for
fishing
for
mortician.
fishing,
Wow.
fishing, game and fishing. Yeah. So he had a belt that had his name on it.
The fishing
Fishing
mortician.
No, it just
mortician.
said McGee, and it had fish all over it.
And you
And
had
he
that
came
embedded
upstairs
in your
and he
ass.
fucking branded my ass with
With fish
the
marks.
fish.
Did you ever do that again?
Hell no.
Oh
I
my
didn't even
God.
know.
That's funny,
That
y'all.
was
That's funny.
I
Oh my
learned
God.
a lot.
That is one of the
I learned a
Fishing
lot.
mortician.
worst and funniest
Yeah.
pranks I've ever heard of.
I'm not the fucking Salvation
funny.
Army. This bitch is $350 fucking dollars.
Thrifting's
You
dead,
got this
y'all.
for free, and you're charging $350 fucking dollars. Insanity.
Thrifting is dead, but I'm telling you guys, you can still go to yard sales just Saturday and Sunday. Go to yard sales and you can make you an easy $500. You take $100 to go shopping with, not even $80 to go shopping with. You can leave the weekend with $500 made like that. Yeah, it's gonna take some time to sell on eBay, but the more stuff you get on there, it just compounds. You start getting 5 sales a day, 2 sales a day, 10 sales a day. You know, you just start making money, and that's how it starts, y'all.
Conspiracy theory shit, bro. You notice every time something's contaminated, it's never like a Twinkie or like an Oreo. Like, oh my God, don't eat the toxic Oreos. They're killing you, which they fucking are. It's always like, oh, it's the lettuce, it's the onions, it's the tomatoes. It's always like an essential food. You notice that shit, bro? Like, it's bro. And then there's like mosquitoes that they bite you. You can't eat red meat. It's like they're only trying to contaminate the food that actually is nutrient dense for you. And then all the other bullshit. Like, I've never once heard someone say, oh, there's a recall on Doritos.
Literally,
True.
why does Anna have a flat camera? Literally facing the kids' splash pad. I mean, it's literally right here outside the gate. I just don't understand it. Why do you need a flock camera facing kids? I mean, it's like literally right here. That shit don't make no sense.
I mean, nothing we can do about
Once
it.
the billionaires find out there's money in the thing that you enjoy doing, they're gonna ruin it. This is life, okay? The thing you enjoy doing that is super innocent, you know, people haven't ruined it yet. Let people find out that you can make money doing that thing, bro. They're gonna come in droves. They're gonna start funding fucking companies, VC money. They're gonna throw $50 million at the fucking problem and just ruin your industry, bro. This is what they do, guys. Okay. All right. If you ever wondered to yourself, like, oh, how does that company even afford to do stuff like that? That's how it is, gang. It's happening in streaming, bro. Like, people heard, oh, streaming has money. Let's go ruin it. Let's go ruin it by throwing money at all these issues here, and let's see if we can control it. Facts. It's not.
When you look at some of these data centers, you can see that they're quite boxy. They're designed by architects and engineers.
Quick, y'all, like streaming, like when it first started, like I'm just saying with the Kaisenats, I never watched it, but just seeing clips on here, it was fun, y'all. They were in a room, they were just, just watching videos, laughing. Now streaming, getting drunk, naked women, drugs, fights, all kinds of crazy stuff like that. Like he's right. Like they get in and they infiltrate it, get as much profit as they can, get out to the next industry, y'all. But streaming used to be fun to watch people, just having fun watching. Like you're part of, like you guys always say, man, I feel like I'm in the room with you. We're just watching clips together, right? But now streaming is, like I said, drugs, sex, drugs, and alcohol now. That's what it is.
To maximize the area. And if you notice something missing, well, how about parking spaces?
Huh.
Look at this. A building this big, can you imagine if people worked there? How many parking spaces you would need? You would have hundreds of people working inside the building, maybe thousands. In this case, that's just not happening. So you actually don't need that many parking spaces. And that's one of the problems that people see is these centers don't employ enough people once they're built.
I tell people all the time, you cannot tell me that it take me an hour to make $20. You get what I'm saying? I can't work a 9 to 5. You cannot tell me that my time is worth $50 an hour. When I done went and knocked on doors and I made a person laugh and they gave me $80 in 10 minutes. Somebody gave me $3,000 in 5 minutes. Somebody gave me $10,000 in 15 minutes. So you can't tell me that my time is what you think it is. You get what I'm saying? That's a fact. Exactly.
Gen Z.
I think you guys, a lot of people just have to try it. That's the hard part for people. That's the scary part. And I'm not saying you got to quit your job. I'm not saying you can do this in your free time, y'all. It's a lot of people. I mean, maybe some people are just too prideful to do that, to go knock on someone's door. I was doing that at 35, 34 and asking to clean a garbage can. Me, I don't, y'all. I don't care, right? I'll go knock on someone's door at 60 and ask them if I can clean their garbage can, right? That's just me. But I think people just gotta, go to the yard sale and buy something and for $1 and sell it for $50 and be like, oh my God, this is possible. I can do this. Go knock on somebody's door and ask, hey, can I clean your garbage can? I'm charging $20. It's gonna take you 10 minutes to clean that, y'all. I just made $20. I make $20 an hour and I get taxed on that. This is cash. This is a cash business, right? And you just got to see it's possible. You know what I mean? And life will change for you, but you got to make that step because it is very possible to go door to door, right? You're going to get a lot of no's, right? I don't get no attitudes because if they say no, thank you, sir. Now walk out. I don't sit there like, come on, let's do it. It's only $20, right? Take a no. All right. Thank you. Have a good day. Change your mind. Here's a business card. Walk out. And they're cool, y'all. I never got an attitude from somebody knocking on their door.
A new money philosophy, financial nihilism. That means the system doesn't reward hard work, so why work hard and follow the rules of the system? Gen Z's online saying, I don't care if I got no PTO, I'm on vacation anyway. They better figure it out. Hell no, I ain't working overtime. Hell no, I can't stay. You better find somebody to cover my shift. Hell no, I'm not working for minimum wage. They got a whole different mindset. They don't have the start from the bottom and climb the ladder, trickle down effect. One day you'll get the American dream. They are having the mindset, I need to live right now. I need to get it right now. The American dream, I need it right now. Whatever my goals, aspirations are, I'm not trying to wait 50 years, retire with a 401. I could live my dream. No, nigga, I'm trying to live my dream right now. What y'all think about that?
I think it's a gift and a curse. And I believe we had this conversation before. I think it was me, you, and Kylie. I'm not sure if you was there, Short, when I was talking about, we was at the Hollywood studio, and I was saying, as far as they're working smarter, not harder, and to the point like that. Like you said, I think they was able to see, now they're able to see a lot of these people online, especially older generations. Like they're able to see maybe a couple generations ahead of what not to do. And what I mean is, you see the people that's older miserable. I done seen people, all online, they break it down in their cars, talking about how they working 2 jobs. You still can't pay rent. You still can't make ends meet. So they basically like, nigga, I'm living on my own terms. I'm going to create the life I want by any means, in the sense of that way. And it's the social media. Everybody feel like they can get rich by pulling out their camera everywhere they go. So I think that's the mindset. And you're not able to even correlate like it was back maybe earlier in times, where you can work and still afford a steady float in society. They're like, nigga, you basically working for crumbs, and it's not even making on the back end where it's balancing out.
I understand the premise. The reason I can't get on board is because I still fall back on human nature, which is you just a lousy motherfucker who don't want to put in no work. Because even to do this internet stuff, potting, anything, you still have work. It requires a type of discipline, consistency, persistency, which people tend to not have of our age demographic, specifically the younger age demographic. They are a microwave society generation. Everything they want handed to them, given to them. And if they don't get it right now, right away, they get an attitude. You get a job today, you want to get a raise the next day. Doesn't work that way. You have to put in some type of work. And that's why I can't fully get on board. It's not that I don't understand the premise. There are days sometimes, even though I make a good living, I'm like, man, y'all niggas working me too hard. I get the premise. However, I still see lack of work ethic, which is lacking tremendously in the society today. That's why mediocrity is put on a pedestal, doing a bare minimum. That's why we talked about quality of just entertainment a few weeks ago. The lack of, or like, man, it seems like things is lacking now. That's because we're rewarding that. So they want to get rewarded for mediocrity.
I think it's always been the mindset, because even when I was young, I wanted fast money.
Try this one time if you ever feel like that again. I've done things like excuse myself, and I'll go outside, gather myself for a minute.
It's very hard to do that.
Then I'll go back in, and it's pretty much subsided there. Worst come to worst, especially like, let's say I'm on set and I'm having an episode, it starts with the sweating. So I'll get some ice water. Just sipping it. After a while, forget all about it. I'm cooled down too. Let's go. Little micromanagements here and there and shit, but never try to, I won't say, you shouldn't embrace that feeling, because it becomes part of your everyday life and shit, and it'll trick you.
Yeah.
And again, just live on the fact that it ain't as bad as you think it's gonna be. And I think that helps.
Anxiety is something tough, man. Panic attacks and all. It's very hard to get up and excuse yourself in a panic attack. I know I have a hard time. It's been a while since I had a panic attack, but when you're in it, it's very hard to just say, you got a restroom I can go use. That's tough, y'all. That's tough. But anyways, y'all, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. You made it this far. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. We got an hour banger for your Friday, y'all. You gotta leave some love. Y'all share the video. That really helps the channel. Everything you guys do. You guys just here making it this far helps the channel. I appreciate everybody, y'all. I really appreciate it. But, I always tell you guys, y'all, it doesn't got to be YouTube, y'all, but just do something on the side. It doesn't got to be DoorDash and all that, y'all. You can just go knock on someone's door. Simple as cleaning their garbage can for $20, y'all. 4 houses. How much houses are on this block? 20 houses? You just need 2 or 3 of them, and you made your day's money. You know what I mean? And there's a whole neighborhood out here with about 500 houses out here. If you go knock on all these doors, you're going to get 10 of them to say yes. And guess what? That's some good money, y'all. But anyways, I'm going to get out of here. I'll see you guys tomorrow in the next one. This is Segovia, signing out of the Man Cave. I'll see you guys then. Later.